Hi everybody, welcome back to Getting Crafty with Citadel Arts. Welcome to today's session. I just want to say thank you to those of you who sent in pictures of your Mother's Day hanging baskets that we made on Saturday. They are looking absolutely amazing, so well done for making those. Now, today, as we are going to be spending some time indoors for the time being, we thought it might be nice to bring the outside in. So we are going to start creating our very own indoor garden. So today we're going to start off with these. I thought it would be nice to create a nice little bunch of daffodils as it is spring. So every day we're going to make something different that we can put into our indoor garden. So let's get started. For today's craft, all we're going to need is a piece of yellow card, 3 pieces of green card or paper. I've got 3 different shades of green, but if you only have the one shade, don't worry, that's not a problem at all. We will need 2 white cake cases, a pencil, a glue stick, a yellow felt tip pen, and a pair of scissors. Now, if you don't have cake cases or yellow card, don't worry. You can use coloured card to create any kind of flower. You don't have to make daffodils. I only decided to make daffodils because it's spring and they're starting to sprout up everywhere. So, let's get started. The first thing that I need you to do is take one of your pieces of green card or paper and just glue all around the edge. We are then going to fold that piece of paper in half, but this way. So we'll fold it in half lengthways. So it looks like that. We are then going to glue around the edges again. And then just fold that in half once again, lengthways. So you will have something that looks like that. Okay? Now, the next step, we're going to take our scissors. And what we're going to do is we're going to try and cut the pattern of grass into this. So in order to do that, we need to cut sort of wonky triangles, I suppose, out of this sheet. So don't cut all the way down to the bottom, just cut like that. And if you do that all the way along, you will have what looks like blades of grass. If you need help with cutting, then just ask a grown-up to give you a hand. We're going to go all the way along that section. Now, this can take some time, so just be careful. Okay, so now that we've done that, we should have something that looks a little bit like this. Okay, so now what I would like you to do is take your glue stick and just glue along half of the bottom edge of your grass. Okay, so just along half. And then we are going to just fold this in to create a circle. Just like that. Okay. Ooh. There you go. Okay, so now we've done that, we can leave that to one side just for a little bit. Okay, we'll pop that there. Now, I want you to take another piece of card and I want you to once again glue all around the edges. Okay, and we're going to fold this in half again, but this time we're going to fold it this way. Okay, just line up those edges. You will just have a piece of card that looks like this. Now, what we are going to do with this piece of card, we are going to cut the shape of leaves into it. Okay, so similarly like we did with the grass, and it's like, I suppose, bigger, wonkier triangles again. So we just start from one side and we cut our way down. And remember, don't go all the way to the bottom. We want to leave a little bit of an edge. And if you cut just like that, and again, there, like so. Cut down to the there. And one more smaller leaf. So we should have something that looks like that. Okay, so it looks very similar to this one, only a little bit bigger. Okay, now once again, we are just going to glue half of that. And we're going to fold it round into a circle again. Keep a tight hold so it sticks down. And then just pop it inside of your grass piece. And just stick it to those edges. So we've now got our grass and we've got some leaves. Okay. Now, the next step is to create the stems for our daffodils to go on. And to do that, we're just going to draw a template of what we want our stems to look like. So if you start with them quite large at the bottom, and we're going to make them the full length of this piece of card, okay? Start from the bottom, straight to the top. And what you can do is if you start them from different sides of the card. So if you start the base of one here and the base of the next one here, you'll be able to fit all four onto the one piece of card. So you'll have something that looks a bit like this, which right now looks a little bit of a mess. So our next step is to cut those stems out. So again, if you need to ask a grown-up for help, please be careful when cutting these out. So now we should have 4 individual stems for our daffodils to go onto. Now what we need to do is to stick these into this. So I want you to take one stem, and if you just glue at the very bottom of that, and then just pop it in the middle, and just glue that to the side. Okay, there you go. And then we're going to do that with all of the different stems. Now that we've glued all of our stems in, we now have something like this. So now the only thing that we need to do is to create our daffodils to stick onto our stems. So we can pop this to one side for now, and then we shall take our 2 white baking cases, take our yellow felt tip pen, and then just colour that in. Colour it all in yellow. This may take a little bit of time. So please do feel free to pause the video if and when you need just to catch up a little bit. So now that we have finished colouring in our cupcake cases, we're just going to cut those in half. Okay, now we don't need those just yet, so we can put those safely to one side. And we just need our piece of yellow card. So, I just would like you to cut 4 squares out of this piece, and they don't all need to be exactly the same size. You don't need to be too exact. You just need 4 squares. Okay, now we're going to use these 4 squares to cut out the petals for our daffodils. So, we want to cut 3 6 petals. We want to cut 6 petals. So if we fold our card in half, and if we cut, make sure we cut around the edge that is creased, and we're just going to cut out 3 petals from this. So we'll do 1, 2, 3. Okay. Then we just need to do that with all of the 4 squares of card that we have. So fold it in half, and then 1, 2, 3. So now that we have our 4 petals, we need to take the cupcake cases that we have just coloured and cut in half. These are going to form the trumpet of the daffodil. Now, to do that, we just need to fold them round into a cone. Now, this can be quite tricky. If you just use your thumb to go around, that should work. Okay, so we have that. Take your glue stick and just dab into the middle of one of the petals. Make sure your cone is there, ready to just place into the middle. Give it a good firm push down. There we go. We have one daffodil trumpet. Done. Okay. And we just need to do that with all of the others. So it might be easier if we first put the glue onto the flower petals. Take our cake case and then just wrap it around into a cone. Use your thumb if you need to. And just press down really firmly, just so that stays on where it needs to go. We have our 4 daffodils. The only thing that is left to do is to now stick them onto the rest of our plant. So, if you just take one stem at a time, just glue onto the very top. Take your daffodil and then just press it on so it stays. Okay. And do that for each of the other stems. So now that we have stuck all of our daffodils onto our stems, that's it. We now have our very own bunch of daffodils that can go into our indoor garden. Now, if you didn't have yellow card or you didn't have any cupcake cases, don't worry. What you could do instead is just follow all of the same steps, but instead use different coloured cards just to make some different types of flowers. So it has the same effect. You'll have a lovely bunch of flowers just to put into your indoor garden. Okay? I would really, really love to see all of your creations, so please, please do upload a picture onto our Facebook page. If you would like to receive the instructions for today's task, you will find this instructional video and a step-by-step guide on our blog at www.citadel.org.uk. Now, tomorrow we are going to continue making our indoor garden. We're going to look at making a base for everything to go in, and we're also going to look at making some butterflies. So I hope you've enjoyed today. I have, and I will see you tomorrow. Thank you for coming and getting crafty with Citadel Arts.